Tesla's number 2, Tom Zhu, is reportedly back in China, which at first does not appear strange at all. He's probably there helping Tesla with FSD. But then we hear this: Tom Zhu has resigned from the management of Europe and North America and returned to his previous role in China. So instead of being in charge of Tesla's automotive business globally, basically, he will just be in charge of China. The Tesla community is responding by saying this news is interesting. Everyone is saying it, literally. When they say interesting, what they really mean is strange. So more strange things are going on at Tesla. Let's find out what this means to us Tesla stock investors. Warren did a poll. Why did Tom Zhu go to China? Most people think he was promoted and some people think he was demoted. However, keep in mind that Warren's audience will often take maybe not the best news and try to put it in the best possible way. But I think we need to shine a bit more light on this issue. With this news, everything is starting to make a bit more sense. Now, Tesla is reportedly undergoing another massive round of layoffs, potentially affecting another 10,000 employees. I think it's really strange for someone to voluntarily resign from a more senior position down to a less senior position. I think Elon asked him to resign, which doesn't actually make it voluntary, does it? James, though, doubts it's another 10,000 following the 15,000 or so already affected, but word on the street is that they are still definitely restructuring. So I definitely expect more strange things to happen sometime soon, like seeing the whole supercharger team just laid off. But if Tom Zhu was demoted, it's not a bad thing. It might actually be a great thing for Tesla. We know that everyone in China loves Tom Zhu, just like many of you like clicking the like button, which helps out a lot. Tom Zhu excelled in China. He has been a key player in Tesla's expansion in China since he joined the company back in 2014. Tesla is expected to double down on his focus in the Chinese market, and sometimes it's certainly possible to have someone in a specific role and they are so good at it that when you promote them, you cannot quite find anyone to replace them, and it actually makes more sense sometimes to put that person back into his previous position and just try to find someone else for that senior position. Electric Rise, Elon Musk's number 2 at Tesla, goes back to China as the CEO, isolates himself at the top. Tom Zhu, by the way, led the very successful Gigafactory Shanghai effort. That factory was built so fast, but the Megapack factory in China is being a little bit slow. So maybe Elon is telling him, hey, look, make sure that that factory gets built as soon as possible. We know that Tom Zhu was even made in charge of North American sales, but in recent months, Musk took over North American sale operations from Tom Zhu, and Tom Zhu was officially listed under Tesla's leadership on Tesla's website together with Andrew Baglino, and these two are no longer going to be there anymore. But for now, Tom Zhu is still listed on Tesla's website. Electric has a theory, and that is Musk is cleaning house at Tesla at a time when his leadership is being challenged through his compensation package, which is sort of turning into a confidence vote. I think the confidence vote part is right. I think it's unethical to do it because the compensation was already approved, but I do agree with that assessment generally speaking. At the moment, looking at Tesla's executives, I don't see anyone who would be a clear choice for a replacement as a CEO, whereas before we had multiple choices. But if Elon Musk is paying a lot more attention to Tesla, I don't see that as a bad thing. If anything, I almost see that as a positive thing because he is spending more time at Tesla. So in the end, the net result, I think, is overwhelmingly positive. In the long term, there's definitely going to be noise, and tomorrow we could see a news story that makes no sense at all at a first glance, but time and time again, Elon Musk has proven and that in the end, he makes it work. And Elon is probably better suited to run Tesla's business in the US and Tom Zhu in China. So this news about Tom Zhu is not necessarily bad. Warren sees it as a positive thing, actually. Or at least the publication that he's quoting sees it as positive. As Tesla reorganizes, Elon has basically replaced a large number of vice presidents with a large number of directors, and Elon is trying to understand what is happening on the front line. In the meantime, Elon Musk says Warren Buffett, should take a position in Tesla stock. It's an obvious move. This was in reply to Gally saying, come on, Warren Buffett, sell all your Apple stock and buy Tesla stock. If he got a ride in a Tesla on FSD V12, and if it was, let's say, a 20-minute no interventions drive, maybe there's a possibility he would start changing his mind about Tesla stock. While Warren Buffett has been an incredible investor producing fascinating returns over his long career, I share the sentiment with Dylan. Am I the only one that doesn't care at all if Warren Buffett invests in Tesla? He's whiffed on Tesla and Bitcoin for over a decade. If you remember, around here, if you watched every single one of my videos from the beginning, at the end of 2022, I was getting excited about Bitcoin. I didn't buy any, but I was seriously considering it. My requirement for buying was it dropping from the peak roughly almost 80%. It didn't quite get there, but it was close. In the long term, I think Tesla stock is a safer investment because Tesla has cash flow and Bitcoin doesn't. So while I do like Bitcoin, I like Tesla quite a bit more. Dylan continues, Warren Buffett, wants Berkshire to be America-oriented, but invested in BYD in 2008 instead of Tesla. I respect what he's done, but his value investing methods have led to Berkshire missing on some of the best investments in the digital and AI age. If you need Warren Buffett to invest in Tesla to have conviction about Tesla stock, you should not be invested in Tesla. 100% I agree with that. Warren Buffett buying Tesla stock, though, I believe would start a Tesla stock rally because he's so respected. People just follow what he does. And slightly similar to Morgan Stanley as well. When Morgan Stanley issues higher price targets for Tesla stock often rallies. And Adam Jonas just drove the latest FSD version, and here are his impressions. If they are really positive, he would increase his Tesla stock price target, which would increase Tesla stock price. And he seems to be pretty happy with the latest update, cautious when it needs to be, assertive when it should be, seems to demonstrate a heightened sensitivity to pedestrians or things associated with pedestrians, smoother actuation, overall noticeable improvement from prior tested version 12.3.4, which is the version that I have the most experience with. I'm on 0.5 right now, but I haven't actually driven on it yet. I read that basically there's not much difference between the two, so I didn't bother. Morgan Stanley also has some thoughts about the Tesla bot. Large language models means the cars learn by learning and doing rather than labeling. Imagine you tell your robot to pick up the red pen on the floor and balance it on one end on the table, and the robot picks up the pen and balances it on the table. The command and resulting action is possible due to the robot understanding natural language, which basically any chatbot does now, knowing what a red pen is, what a table is, and what it was asked to do with it. And we know that AI can definitely identify objects because Tesla's FSD, for example, sees and knows what a stop sign is. So even if the robot has never been asked to do this precise combination of movements before, it understands what it is asked of it by observing and imitating permutations of such behaviors many times before, perhaps millions of times in reality and trillions of times in simulation. Even if it was never explicitly told what a red pen was, it just figured it out. 3 different compute systems working together. An expert in large language models and robotics at a major AI company tells us how the field of robot learning has changed profoundly in the past 12 months and how the chances of robots learning from AI has increased from near 0% to a point where anything is possible today. The combination of 3 different compute systems: A, inference computers at the edge; B, learning computers in data centers; and C, computers running the robot's digital twin in a simulation in a platform, is suddenly merging the AI and robotics world. And then the power of large language models like ChatGPT to combine the learning and vision is the catalyst. In other words, later on, you will also be able to just tell your Tesla vehicle what to do, where to turn. Oh, park over there. Park in the garage. Oh, don't go there. Take this other route. And it will just understand, and then it will change its navigation based on what you're telling it to do. Morgan Stanley also estimates that by the end of 2025, Tesla's fleet collectively will be driving about 100 billion miles per year, or 3,200 miles per second. So that's a lot of data that Tesla can collect and improve FSD with.